Hello, everybody. Hi, Kaz. I saw you jump in the room before. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us again. We were meant to be live last night, and it was my muck-up last night. So we have got 2 shows for you tonight. So stick in there at the end. We will be coming back. But we've had Jamie Lindsay on the show in Tamworth, and we didn't get to have a proper catch-up. So we thought we would do another show now. So we're going to welcome him into the room. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments. Hello.
Hey, Danni, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you? It's nice to see you properly where we're not rushing around like crazy.
Yes, I mean, Tamworth is just a whirlwind, and you were just so busy. But can I just say something quickly? It's probably been like a year or so since I've actually been on the show. Yes. Oh my God, the whole intro and the whole set looks bloody amazing, mate. Like, it's so good. You're doing so well. And I was actually sitting back going, wow, this is really stepped up, you know, and well done. Really cool.
It's look, I couldn't do it without Scott and all of the people that volunteer. We've got some amazing volunteers, but Scott and his amazing creations. He gets embarrassed when I say it, but I look at him and think, how did you come up with that? How do you picture that and then go and make it? It's incredible.
Well, some people just like that, you know. It's like writing a song, or you have a talent and you build on that. And you know, like Scott is very creative, and look, the show looks fantastic. And I was lucky to meet Scott in Tamworth. He's a lovely guy too. So Scott, if you can hear me, which I know you can, g'day mate, how are you?
He's on his way. He's sent me a message. He said, I'm running late from work. I'll be there really soon. Right. So he is on his way. We've had Kaz beat us into the room. She said, I know that Jamie will hear. It was Tamworth Services, and he sang the ceiling off. You did a great job in Tamworth.
Thank you. Look, thanks, Kaz. That's really nice to say that. Tamworth's it's such a special festival for me. It's wonderful on many levels, you know. It's just such a buzz, you know. It's such a buzz. And I actually had probably one of the best Tamworths that I've ever had. I got to sing on the main stage with Jane Denham. That was fantastic. My own shows were great as well. I got to play with some amazing musicians that I've actually never played with. It was really funny.
Oh, really?
Because when I was trying to, I actually got my shows booked in later towards the year. And so by the time I said to my band, who I normally use here in Sydney and stuff like that, they were all kind of booked up, or they had other plans. I was like, oh my God, I got no band, you know? So
that is so funny, though.
So I thought, not to worry, it's Tamworth. You know, all the good musicians are up there anyway. So I started reaching out, saying who's available, who wants to do the show. Yep. And, you know, surprisingly, I mean, I was very lucky to get some real cream of the crop players that were actually available for my show days, you know. And so, you know, Simon Johnson, Andrew Morgan, Sean Rudd, Dave Roberts, you know, Loz Benson, you know.
Oh, wow. Oh.
I know, right? And I was just so that made my shows even more special, because I'd never played with those people before. They'd learnt my songs. We were also playing a couple of covers. You know, we were playing some Loz's repertoire as well. And, you know, like,
I love her voice.
Her voice is, but her vibe, Danni, it's like her
just
vibe.
Yes.
and so lovely and so humble and no ego and just really all about the music and about doing something special. So yeah, my shows at the Services Club and Fan Zone were extra special because I got to connect with people that I know of through the industry, you know, because they play with everyone. Troy Casadale, you know, everybody, you know, they are the session band, you know, they play with everyone, you know, and so it was great to connect with him. So it kind of worked out for the best that I couldn't take my band, because I got to play with other people, you know, and it was great. But you know, hanging out with you and all the media stuff, plus my manager Marcelo was there.
No, wasn't it amazing to see Marcelo there? Because he's always watching from afar and doing so much for so many people. But to see him go and enjoy himself, it just felt so good to see him with a smile on his face and just.
Well, I mean, he lives in Finland, so he literally melted. He melted away.
From the snow.
It was like Olaf, you know, he just melted away, you know, because it was brutally hot this year too, wasn't it?
Harsh. It was a bad year for the heat.
Yeah. And I got to see your mum. It's always lovely to see your mum, and obviously being fellow Tasmanians as well. It's just nice, you know. It's nice. You're a very special person, mate, and I know that you come from a very special family as well, because I know your family.
I'm very lucky, aren't I?
You are, and your mum is really supportive of you and the show and everything that you do. And look, you know, I take my hat off to people like you know, because you go out of your way. You know, you have other things in your life as well, but you always make time to do this show, and you know, we need more people like you. So thanks, Danni. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. We absolutely love it, and we've got so many good things and exciting things that haven't been announced yet coming up. So I will have a talk to you after the show, because we've got lots of exciting things that we were hoping you could sort of be interested in. But on top of all that amazing stuff, how good does it feel to nearly have your album out? It is so good.
Oh, I've been working on this album for the last couple of years. Yes, 97. Yes, you've got it. You've got the copy. Yeah.
It's like, how nice to open a CD and actually get to read the side of it.
You know, a lot of people don't do CDs, and I don't know why. CDs, I mean, I come from an era of CDs, and to me they're really important for, you know, for many things. You know, they're just something that when you're doing a show, you know, people can buy, you know, they can have something of the show. If you've got nothing to sell and you've got a CD, you know, most people will buy it regardless, because they just want a piece of you from the show or from the night. Something you can sign as well. So it's been really important, and I've been very lucky. I started the pre-sale thing around mid-December for this album, and I've been doing, like, the pre-sales have been like through the roof. Honest to God, I've sold so many pre-sales, which just helps me chart with ARIA as well. So fingers crossed, I chart high. No expectation, but I hope so. But look, the album's been an absolute joy to work on. I started working on this album 2 years ago. I wanted something very different from the first album that I did, 11. I had a vision to get more of a Nashville sound. I mean, the first record I wrote, produced, mixed myself. But for the second record, I wanted a bit more of a polished pop Nashville sound, you know, more of that Luke Combs, Keith Urban-y vibe. Yeah. So I reached out to a mastering and mixing engineer in Nashville, Billy Decker, who has worked with everybody from Luke Combs and Darius Ruckus, and, you know, huge big names, Luke Bryan, all that. So and he jumped on board. He was really kind of into it, and so I wrote the album, produced the album, recorded the album here in my little studio, and then I would send over the tracks to Billy, and he would mix and master them. And I think, you know, we did a couple of songs first, and I was liking the vibe, and then he would make and then Billy would email me and make some suggestions like, how about trying this next time, you know. And so we kind of had this relationship back and forth, and then you know, we put some singles out, and then look, it's a really nice feeling. I tell you why I make music. I make music for me, and I make music so that, like, I drive around listening to my records. I'm not ashamed to say it.
Well, you've got to be able to do it. If you can't listen to it, how can anyone else, you know?
Exactly right. I make music so that I can listen back to my songs and
remember those things.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I make music, you know. If people like that and they're into it, then awesome. Yeah. Thank you. You know.
Exactly. And I think the reason that people like your music is because you do that, because it's real and you are real, and what you're putting into it, it's not a made up, it's genuinely truth.
Yeah, I'm not trying to chase fads. I don't care about TikTok. I couldn't give a rat's ass. I'm not trying to jump on a trend, or I don't write about stuff that I don't do. You know, I'm 47 this year. I've got 3 children. I'm happily married. You know, my songs really have to be about my life and my journey, and I feel that my albums reflect that. You know, 1977 is the year I was born. The last album was called 11, which is a day that I was born. The next album, I can tell you what the next album is going to be called. It's August Morning, which is the month I was born.
Oh, how beautiful. Oh, I love that. August Morning. Oh, that sounds
August Morning is the next album that I've already started songwriting for. And yeah, so, you know, I want my songs to be about my life, my stories. And if people can relate to that, then that's great. I will. Thanks, Kaz. Thank you. How good's Kaz?
Kaz? And her reviews are so professionally written. It's just,
oh, wow.
I really enjoy it, actually, reading a good review. And Kaz does a really good job.
Where are you, Kaz? I will personally send you a CD. I will personally send you a CD.
Was it a hot August morning?
I don't know. You can ask my mum. You know, she was the one who gave birth to me on August morning. It was probably really hot. She was probably glad it was over.
Fuzzy, so it would probably have been not warm.
It would have been in the middle of winter in Launceston, and it would have been freezing cold, I imagine. So yeah, look, I don't my songs are written by me as well. I don't have a team of songwriters in Nashville. I mean, that's totally fine too. I'm not against that way of creating music, but for me, I just like to write my own songs about my own stories, and just so that they're not so cookie cutter. Yeah. If that makes sense, you know.
Because you write your own songs and you do feel your songs so much, do you find it hard when you are doing a cover, or do you try and pick covers that still hold a meaning to you and so you can still deliver that?
Oh, what a great question. You know, no one's ever asked me that. That's a great question. I do covers. I only play the covers that I like.
Yep.
And I only play them if they make me feel something. They've got to make me feel something, you know. I don't listen to certain styles of music because I don't connect to it. You know, I don't feel it, you know. And I think that's the beauty about country music is the storytelling and the realness you get from it. I mean, I grew up idolizing Troy Casadale and Garth Brooks, Keith Urban, you know, and these are proper songwriters, you know.
Storytellers, songwriters.
You know, And so, I think, and I think that's why someone like Chris Stapleton is such a big artist now, is because he's really real, and he's not, he's not on TikTok, he doesn't worry about, you know what I mean? It's
but doing it for himself, and if people love it, that's great, but he's still doing the writing for himself. And
I was told like a long time ago that you're better off, failing as yourself than succeeding as someone you're not.
Exactly. That is a really, really good saying. I like that.
Yeah. So look, I mean, I'm really happy. I'm really happy with my music, and I'm happy with the way things are going. And I'm really proud of this album, as much as I was of the last album as well.
Yes.
Because it's just me and it's my story. And I touch on some dark stuff. There was a point in my life when I was doing the rock thing, that I was doing a lot of things that I probably shouldn't have been doing, and so my life did kind of fall off the rails there for a little while. And so, I've got a story to tell about that as well. Yeah. I've been there. I've carried a lot of guilt in the past. I've done a lot of, substances that I wish I didn't do at the time. But it's all led me to here right now.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm in a really good place. I'm in a really good place. I've got a great life, and I've got great friends around me, and I've got people like you that are really positive and all that. And I just want to keep walking down the road that I'm walking down. I've got no time for BS, and I've got no time for people with BS.
Exactly. Yes.
It's funny as you get older. When you're younger, you put up with that kind of stuff. But
you do, don't you? Now,
as you get older, you just cut those people out of your life.
You don't need it. It's weight you don't need.
You don't. It's just weight you don't need, and you're better off. You're better off just cutting it off at the head and just be done with it. I'm so country, man. I'm so country.
I know. I agree. That is how I think we all try to live as we grow. I think it's something that it's the best way to be.
Yeah.
On the topic of your album, Scott has done some fantastic artwork for us.
Wow.
But I hope that it is okay to put all the names of the songs up there.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's great.
I probably didn't think of that. You guys, this album is a beautiful album, but have a look at your track list. Have you at the moment got a song on there that is one of your favorite to perform? It'd be so hard choosing in that section.
I really love playing Open Road. It's one of my it's one of those songs that just takes me to another level. Like I literally feel like I'm in the car driving on a highway somewhere. Like and even when I listen to it in my car, I feel like maybe I should go the long way around this time, like it just feels great playing it live. Bring on the Summertime is really cool.
Yes.
Bumper to Bumper is really cool. It's got a really kind of funky thing. There's some songs that are kind of a bit more album-y songs and are a little bit harder to do live, they just, they probably don't relate as well live as some of the other ones, but that's always the case. It's always the case. I think probably Open Road is probably the most fun one to play live.
I have to agree. Open Road, when I first heard you play it, you were at the Oak in Launceston, and it was just like a big set with. It was just that song, because it wasn't released at that point.
It wasn't released.
And I remember thinking, I reckon this is going to stay in my top 5 Jamie Lindsay songs forever. Something about it that it gave me the goosebumps. So Open Road.
Well, that's really funny because when I write a song, Danni, the first thing I do is I play it live. Right, it's the first thing I do because I want to feel how it feels in an audience, and I want to see the reaction from an audience, and I want to see if toes are tapping, if heads are bopping. I want to feel if the timing's right, if the keys right. I've got to sing this song for the rest of my life, so I don't want it to be too high,
we can change
no,
it.
Because otherwise I'll be singing like this, So I always test drive. I test drive every song I do. I'm actually playing. Hey, you're going to be. You have to come to the show.
Have to, Kaz. We should have
18th of May.
18th of May in Launceston. You have to come. That is exciting. That is really exciting.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah. So always test drive my songs. I think it's really important. And as I said, some songs just, even like in a studio, like some songs just come together, and some songs take a little bit more time to squeeze, to try and get that feeling, that magic, and for me, timing is everything. Like I spend a lot of time with a click track, so I'll kind of sit here just with a click track, and I'll have an acoustic, and I'll just kind of go, is it 95 BPM? Let's try 94. Let's try 93. Let's try 96. Like, as silly as that sounds, to get that right feeling, that right timing, for me is so I'll kind of sit back and I'll just kind of play it for a little while, and I'll bop my head and I'll feel like I'm like, that feels really good. Great, let's move forward.
I love that process. I love hearing and feeling that, because if you're feeling it at that point, imagine how good it's going to be at the end. When you get it right, when you get there and get it right. I was going to talk, because you've got not only an album coming up, but you have a lot of shows coming. You've got a busy year. 2024 is off to a big start for you.
I play every weekend around the coast. I've got a really good following around here. I'm very lucky. I've been on the Central Coast. I still do actually a couple of shows in Sydney, but most of my shows are on the Central Coast, and I'm very lucky that I've got a very supportive Central Coast fan base that come to my shows and really support. It means that I never get a night off. I've always got to be got to be on, because I've got my crowd that follow me around everywhere now, 20, 30 of them that just follow me around. It's excellent. I love it. It's great. It's great. It's great.
Family. They turn into family.
It's family, Yes, absolutely. And in my breaks, I go and sit with my family and I talk to them, and I find out how's their week been going. What are you going up to? And I know the kids' names, and I know all this kind of stuff.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, but I'm definitely, hey, Gosford, Kaz, you are just all over it. Oh my God. Who is Kaz?
It's amazing. He's just knows it everywhere, and does so much. Amazing. We couldn't have.
So lots of shows, obviously coming down to Tassie in May. Tassie's something that I want to do every like 6 months, my family's from there. My mum and dad are there, and they're not getting any younger. And I've realized in the past that I haven't I haven't seen them as much as I should have, because I've been really busy and blah blah blah, excuses. So I want to make sure that I come down and see my mum and dad as much as I can. They're in their mid 70s, so just want to just spend the time with my family, but also reconnect to the fans that I used to have when I was kind of starting out around there. So Tassie, I'm heading down to Victoria. I've got a tour in Victoria in July. I'm heading out to Bathurst and Orange in June. I've got some shows out there. Definitely shaping up to be a busy year. I mean, the album will pretty much dictate what's going to happen.
Yes.
I just want to get out. Yeah, I just want to get out on the road and connect with people. I'm not relying on streams and all that kind of stuff. I like to just get out and connect with real fans, real people, and
100%.
make new friends.
Yes, exactly. And that's the beautiful part about this industry is we do get to do that. We get to meet new people, connect with people before we even meet them, and then really connect again. But on that tour and the album, if you guys would like to pre-save or pre-order the album, scan this QR code and you can actually get it. So as soon as it's released, it will hit your inbox. You'll get a reminder and you can go straight and have a listen to it. It is such a special album and you're going to love it, but it is really so helpful for the artists for you guys to pre-order and pre-save an album because it helps with charts, it helps with radio. If you can go and do it on any of the music platforms, you can choose that's on all of them, but make sure you go in and have pre-save.
Thanks, Danni. That's really nice of you. Yeah, and you are right. Like it is important, you know. It definitely helps us.
It does. Yeah.
You know,
it
so
makes a massive difference. Definitely. Huge difference.
So I'm really excited for the album. I'm really excited for the year, and just being able to do more of this stuff is what it's all about. You know, it really is.
I cannot wait, and I am so sorry. We've gone so quickly. The time flies when you and I talk.
I know. It always does. It always does.
But it is so lovely to have you on, and we were talking before we went live, and I'd really love to have you back before you come down here. I'd really love to see. I want to have a show where we get to hear about your feedback from the album and what people think. And I'd love to hear what songs people are connecting to when it's out there and they can hear them all. I love those.
I would love that too. Yeah.
But thank you so much for always taking the time to reach out to us here because it really means a lot that you keep coming back. We love having you, and it's just nice to have some amazing people in our court. Thanks,
Danni. And thank you, Scott, again, man. You do a fantastic job. And thanks so much for having me a part of your really special show, man. You are, you just doing so well, and you're absolutely kicking ass for the industry and, for the country music scene. And yeah, really is.
It's lovely to make a difference. But thank you so much. I will give you a buzz shortly, but thank you everybody. We're going to be back in a moment with Billy Rose, and it's my fault that we've got her on tonight. I have to apologize to her so much because I mucked up the weeks. If I ever get done for dementia, it's because they test me and said, what day is it? I don't know. I'm going to be locked up. But thank you so much, Jamie. It's absolutely lovely having you. And we'll see all you guys very soon. See you soon.